Good evening, everyone. Welcome aboard. Happy Thursday. Uh, Brother Jeff, Tanya, how y'all doing tonight?
We are doing fine.
I'm
See,
tired.
we got Ryan and Brian and Beth here with us already. Excellent. It's Thursday. Yeah, I'm tired too. Had a busy week. Uh, but today was a good day. Eric, glad you could make it in here with us. I'm ready for a bourbon. I sure am. So Russ, Russ has got a Knob Creek rye going on tonight. Excellent. I've been doing a little digging into Knob Creek this week, Russ. Like I said, I'm really impressed with Knob Creek, and I've watched some video content some of the bourbon tasters have put out on Knob Creek, and it's impressive. They got a lot of cool things going on there. So Andy's with us, Andrew, Fran, Levi, good deal. So tonight, like I said, I picked up this earlier in the week. It's called Rare Breed. Uh, this is a offering from Wild Turkey. A couple weeks back, you guys remember I got that bottle of Wild Turkey 101, and it's a inexpensive bottle of bourbon comparatively, and I was really happy with it. It was really good. So I decided to try something from Wild Turkey on up the ladder a little bit. And this Rare Breed, what it is, it's a barrel proof version of Wild Turkey, but it's blended. I went in and did a little bit of reading about it earlier today, and it's blended from barrel proof, uh, different aged barrels. Let's see. I can't remember exactly what it said now. It said, uh, oh,
I want to read one that says like aged in pickled juice barrel or
pickle juice
something.
barrel. This one says the bold spirit of Wild Turkey is faithfully represented in every drop of this authentic barrel proof whiskey, the original small batch barrel proof bourbon. So this is not single barrel proof. It's just barrel proof, and it says it's a blend of our finest 6, 8, and 12-year-old bourbons. So that's how this Rare Breed pans out. So this bottle is 116.8 proof, uh, and I had a glass of it already. So wanted to see how well I liked it before I decided to bring it on live, and I do like it. I meant to. I went back to the liquor store tonight, and one of my things I was wanting to do there was remember how much I paid for this, because this is not as expensive as your typical barrel proof offerings. I forgot to look, and I think it's about a $50. It's in the $50, 50 somewhere, 50 to $55 bottle. Most of the barrel proof stuff that I end up with is 65 to 70 most of the time. So yeah, Tanya's feeling a little bit better this week. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hey.
As I yawn.
So cheers, everybody. Jeff, what are you having
Cheers.
tonight?
Jack number 7.
Hmm.
And I am having sparkling apple cider.
Woohoo!
Did you finish off that bottle of Weller yet, Jeff?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm milking it for all it's worth.
Honorog's with us from the YouTube side. I'm not gonna laugh at Honorog. Honorog, I think I haven't confirmed this yet, but he may be in Facebook jail. That's the suspicion I have. So welcome aboard.
I think that suspicion would be about right.
But here's the
Okay.
thing: we love you either way. Come through
Yeah.
Facebook, come through YouTube. We still think you're awesome.
Oh boy. Okay. So if you're having a drink with us tonight, leave me a comment here and let me know what you're having.
Scott, which Girl
Scott,
Scout
that is
cookie are
pizza.
you eating?
It is Girl Scout cookie season, isn't it? Where did
It
I see this?
is.
There's only one true Girl Scout cookie.
What's your favorite one, Jeff?
What do you think?
The Thin Mints.
Bingo.
I like the Thin Mints also, but I like that peanut butter patty really well also.
Yeah.
So both of those are good. Andrew, Sweden's in the house. Awesome. Super
Super Tuscan. Is that a type of Girl Scout cookie?
I've never heard of this one. But
would that be
yeah.
like a double biscotti or something? Or maybe like a biscotti with chocolate filling, so it's like super Tuscan? I don't know.
Honorog says his Facebook account's been hacked. Oh boy.
It's
Well, hopefully you can get it back. You need to start listening to me every time I post that public service announcement in our little group about have you changed your passwords lately. You gotta take that seriously. That's a big deal these days.
Wow. So like here's the deal.
Yeah.
He's got students.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, the tagalongs are pretty good, Ryan. I'm down with that.
I use this app called LastPass, and I couldn't tell you what my passwords are for most of these sites. All I know is that they're 25 plus characters long.
I'll go with those Samoas. Yeah.
I use two-factor authentication when we can. So
it was wine, not Girl Scout cookies.
There we go.
He was doing Thin Mints. But I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, is there like a new Girl Scout flavor I haven't sussed out?
I haven't seen Girl Scout cookies around here yet, Tanya. Why have we not seen these? They don't come to the house anymore. You have to like go to Walmart and
all right,
they
John,
sell them at the
Honey Bun.
Did you find some?
Yeah, when we were driving down Main Street, like every hair salon, and we have 5,000 of them in Valdez, has a big sign up saying Girl Scout cookies here.
Well, see, now, how am I ever going to notice that?
I was fixing to say the same thing, John. I mean,
if you got to go to a hair salon to get Girl Scout cookies, Jeff, we're in trouble.
We are in deep trouble.
Oh, boy. Yes, Charles. Go back to Charles's. Which one was the comment there about the Cinnabon? Yes.
The Cinnabon.
Jeff, Charles is the guy that made the
right.
the recipe that you and I deep dived into a couple years ago. That is a fantastic cinnamon bun recipe, but I think Jeff and I ultimately all we did with it was increase the flour.
I was totally right. Randy in West Virginia is the Woodford Reserve.
Randy, we were in the liquor store earlier, and Tanya went in with me for a change, and she saw the Woodford Reserve, and she says, "Isn't that what Randy from West Virginia drinks?" I said, "Maybe, I think so." Not sure. Yeah.
Oh, I just have a brilliant idea. Thank you here. Brilliant idea. We should set up our Grub hub, but exclusively for Girl Scout cookies, and we'll charge like an extra $5. What do you think?
DoorDash. Okay.
Yeah. Well, only Girl Scout cookies.
I like Girl Scout cookies. The boxes get smaller and smaller every year. I don't know what the going price for a box is these days. It's been a while since I've bought any.
Last time I bought them, I think it was $3 a box.
They're still $3 a box.
No, they're not $3 a box.
No.
But that's when I was buying a case of Thin Mints and throwing them in the freezer.
Oh boy. Save Aaron's question for the end of the thing, Tanya. I'll talk about meatball sandwiches. I don't know if I don't think I've done a video on a meatball sandwich. I've done meatballs in various ways, shapes, and forms. Yeah.
I just happen to have some meatballs in the freezer.
Yeah, we got a ton of meatballs in the freezer down here, but I do like to make them. Okay. All right. Well, Tanya, we'll bring you back in a little bit. Yeah.
A Kamado Joe distributor in Sweden.
Sausage on the way. All right.
I don't know where Bjorn. He needs to hook up with Bjorn. Uh, Andrew, we've got Bjorn. What's Bjorn's last name?
It starts
I
with
need to.
His first name is
Ninja.
Kamado. Kamado Born, right?
Yeah, look him up, Andrew. Kamado Kamado underscore BJORN. Look him up
Yeah.
on Facebook. He's somewhere in Sweden. I can't remember uh which city he's in, but he's done a pretty good job of sourcing meat in Sweden. Uh, so yeah, definitely connect with Bjorn. I'd love to get Bjorn on here with me sometime, but it's going to be difficult because, like I said, it's 2 a.m. over there, or 2:30 a.m. So yeah, he knows.
He
Aaron
is
knows
cool.
Bjorn. Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Hmm. All right, Tanya, we'll bring you back in a bit. Jeff, did you get any cooking done this week?
Yes, it did.
You didn't send me any pictures.
No, 'cause, those pictures have already been on of the pork
Oh, have they?
tenderloin, so no need to show pork tenderloins again. And then I
Yeah,
made the ketos super toscana, but that was all inside. Yes, I cooked inside. Believe it or not.
right. Hmm.
Next week I'll have lots of pictures.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'll have some more next week too because I want to get. I got pizza video. I got our first pizza video made today, and we're going to talk about that cook. I've got pictures from that cook tonight, and I'm getting my pizza series rolling a little. I'm a little late out of the gate, but I'll get a second one done towards the end of February, and then I'll be back on track. I just didn't get one done in January, or the one I was trying to do in January. I botched it. I was doing a thin crust pizza, and I ruined the pizza launching it onto the stone, and I went ahead and did Detroit pizza. So let me. I haven't bothered to get my screen up here. Let's get it online so we can see what's going on.
Now, dadgummit, it's gonna make me log into it again.
Okay, this is the rare breed. Just a picture of that bottle. It's good. It's a really good bourbon. Jeff, this is the stuff that Jeff sent me this week. This is Nora Mill. You want to talk about this, Jeff?
We discovered Nora Mills probably 20 years ago when we were going up to Helen, Georgia. We stopped and got a small pack, a variety of everything they had. They got white grits, yellow grits, speckled grits, the white Miller's gravy, which is that package on the left, which is an excellent white gravy, for sausage gravy and whatnot.
Right.
SOS.
So
They
they
have
probably got
Pioneer
cornmeal.
porridge,
They got cornmeal.
cornmeal, you name it. I mean, and everything is done in house right there. You can
Right.
watch them do it. And the quality, we have had excellent quality with everything that we've gotten there. I think you're going to enjoy both of those. I know
I'm
you said
looking
you like
forward to
making
it.
your own white gravy, but this
Yeah, well,
stuff here,
Tanya
it's,
Tanya doesn't like my homemade gravy, so hopefully she'll like this.
well, tell you how easy this is. You mix, I think it's a third of a cup of it with water,
Yeah.
boil water, throw the mixture in, boom, it immediately thickens and it's great gravy. I mean,
Right.
it's right on point.
I'm
So,
sure it'll be good. So maybe we'll crack into that in the next couple of days. But I'll definitely try the grits because uh, I've been a big fan for several years now of the what's now called the Marsh Hen Mill down in Edisto Island, South Carolina. So I'll be curious to see how these compare to those. So I'll definitely get those on the
yeah, let me know.
stove. Talking about pizza, this is something I wanted to show right quick. This is a little video clip I made, and the for those of you that have a Kamado Joe and a Dojo, if you have a Fireboard, or specifically, I guess if you have the Fireboard 2 Pro, this guy turns the dojo into a set and forget setup. And the temperature probes on the Fireboard 2 Pro are good up to over 800 degrees, so you don't have to worry too much about damaging these probes. The Fireboard 2 Drive, the probes that come with them are rated, the probe wires and the probes themselves are rated at a maximum temp of about 570. So they wouldn't, I wouldn't do it with those. But if you have this makes a real easy setup. What I do, and I'll show you as we go through some of the pictures of the pizza I've done, I'll show you how this setup works. And it works really well. And it doesn't take long at all. It takes setting up the dojo and lighting your fire and then putting the dojo in and getting up the temperature takes a little bit of practice if you're not using one of these controllers. Jeff, have you run a controller with your dojo?
Uh, I run, yes, I have, but I don't have the Pro, so I just used the fan and told it flame on.
Right. But it works really easily.
Oh yeah,
Today's National Pizza Day.
yes
Did
it
y'all
is.
know that? Did everybody know that today is National Pizza Day? Andrew, I don't think you can use the Fireboard 2 Pro uses the K couple probes. It's a different connector, and it's not cross compatible with the Fireboard 2 Drive. And as far as I know, they don't have a high temperature version available for the Fireboard 2 Drive yet. And so I don't think that works. But yesterday, when I went to the grocery store, I picked up some of the things I wanted to use to make today's pizza with. And I'm going to stop for a moment here and tell you about these tomatoes. These Bianco di Napoli tomatoes, you know, they're in a can, and by the name, you'd think that's an Italian tomato, but it is a California tomato, and they're delicious. They're very good. They're more expensive. They cost more than I pay for the San Marzano tomatoes, but I may make the switch to these. I'm going to have to do some side by side comparisons on these, but I wanted to make Detroit style pizza this week, and so that's what I did. Cheese on pizza. This is a tip I want to share with everybody. Don't if you're into making homemade pizza, don't limit yourself just to mozzarella cheese on that pizza. The This pizza blend, I can't buy Wisconsin brick cheese, and the traditional Detroit style pizza is made with Wisconsin, what they call Wisconsin brick cheese, and I have yet to find, well, I'm going to say I have yet to ever find any of this cheese around here. Tanya and I came across some at a local grocery store a couple years ago, and I didn't buy it because I wasn't planning on making the pizza. But I said I know where to get it now, and of course, when I went back, they've not had it again since. So I've come up with my own blend, and this blend works great on all pizzas. And basically, what I've got here is a 1-to-1-to-1 blend of whole milk mozzarella, Havarti, and Munster. This makes a beautiful cheese blend for any pizza. And today I put this in my food processor. I don't buy grated cheese anymore. I always buy cheese on the block and grate it myself. But when I've got a lot of it like that I'm going to grate, I've got this Ninja food processor, and I just cut it into chunks and throw it in there and pulse it for 20 seconds or so, and I get a really nice uh, cheese blend. So this is what I used on today's pizza. The pizza sauce that I made, I started out with those California tomatoes, uh, and I made a bunch of this sauce because I froze some of it so I can use some of it later. But I start out with a 28-ounce can of those whole tomatoes, and I put those in a colander and let as much of the thin liquid that was there, which there wasn't much, and let it drain out. And then I just put these in my glass bowl, and then I have a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and those are San Marzanos, and then a smaller can of just tomato sauce, and then I've got some dried oregano and salt for that. I put all that together in that bowl, and just took my immersion blender and worked it. I think next time I do this, I'm probably just going to use the Vitamix. It probably would have worked out a little easier for me to use the Vitamix for that. But you just want to, blend that till it's smooth. In a Vitamix, you would have that done in 10 seconds or less. And it took me about a minute or so of stirring around with that immersion blender to get those whole tomatoes broken up nice and smooth. But the pizza dough, I was trying to take some inspiration from these modernist pizza, this modernist pizza set that I have, and I like all of the result I got here, with one minor exception that we're going to talk about in a minute. And I'm going to publish the video for this cook tomorrow, but one of the things I'm gonna put a note in the video. One of the things that I put in this dough was a little bit of sugar, and I'm gonna recommend that you don't do that. So it's this pizza cooks hot enough that I don't like the way the sugar worked out in this dough. But this dough is made with a blend of bread flour and semolina flour, salt, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of active or instant yeast. So I tossed all that, and of course warm water. I tossed all that in the mixer, and I ran my KitchenAid pretty slow until I had what I call a shaggy dough mass, where all the flour and water has come together, and then I run the speed up a little bit on it, because this is a fairly wet dough. And with the wet doughs, I'm not afraid to run the mixer at a little higher speed. But you want to run that mixer until this dough forms a really good gluten network. And I don't have a picture here to show you of the window pane that you pull to determine if your gluten structure is where it needs to be. But I tried to show that on the video, so you'll have to check that out. But also, I made enough dough here to make two pizzas. One pizza dough is not quite a big enough dough batch to run in this mixer. So once I had and also that means I ran that in that mixer with that dough hook for 16 or 17 minutes until I had a gluten structure that I was happy with. So I tossed it in an oiled tub and rolled it around in there. And I just put the lid on that tub, and we let that rest for 15 minutes. I pulled it out after 15 minutes and did what's called a single stretch and fold, and put it back in there for another 15 minutes to let it, what we're calling a bench rest. And then I took it out, I cut it in half, I put the other half away, and then I got my 10 by 14 Lloyd pan and put a good bit of oil in the bottom of that. Andrew, glad you could make it in with us. And I spread that out as best I could at this point. It's really tight at this point, so it's not going to stretch to the edges of the pan. But I went ahead and laid it in the oiled pan, and I covered it up with plastic. And this one was going to get a 3-hour proof. So after 3 hours, or while that's proofing, I guess 2 hours into the proof, or an hour and a half into the proof, I went ahead and lit up my grill. I put a fairly heavy load of charcoal in there because I'm wanting to go hot, and you need a good bit of charcoal to go hot with the dojo. So I lit that charcoal in 3 places with 3 different fire starters, and then I set the dojo on, and then I activated the fireboard and ran this thing up to 550 degrees to where it would get an adequate time to preheat. But after 3 hours, I took the plastic off of this pan, and then I started working that dough out to the edges of the pan. And still, this dough was a little bit elastic, so I had to let it rest. Sometimes when it keeps wanting to snap back, you just have to stretch it as best you can. Then you let it sit for 10 minutes, and then come back and do it again, and it will have relaxed some, and you'll eventually get it all the way out to the edges of the pan. So when you get it there, we put our cheese on it. And you don't get stingy with the cheese on this, because the cheese is one of the things that makes this pizza what it is. And you want to run the cheese all the way out to the edges of that pan, because one of the characteristics of this pizza is how that cheese is going to caramelize out there on the outer edges when it's in contact with that hot pan. And of course, here in the man cave, we put pepperoni on all the pizzas that we make. I had today, I used the boar's head pepperoni that comes on a stick, and I just sliced it off. So now it's ready for the grill. So I put it uh, on the dojo. This pan is too thick to slide through the front door on the dojo, so you just have to open the lid and set it in there. But since this is not a Neapolitan pizza, and this pizza is going to take 12 to 15 minutes to cook, it's okay to raise the dome, set it in there, and then close the dome back. That's not ever going to give you a problem. And here we are. This is about where I felt like I was ready to pull it off, and this was right at about 15 minutes on this particular cook. I was happy with how the pizza had browned on top, and I was definitely happy with how it's browned around the edges. And that's one of the characteristics I was talking about that's desirable on this pizza style. So I took it off and set it. I just set it on my little outdoor table while I brought the camera and whatnot back inside, because that pan's screaming hot. Will I do a video on lighting the Kamado with the dojo using the fireboard? I might. I probably will, and I'm glad you asked that. I probably should have done that today, because in this 12 video series that I'm planning to do, I'm going to use the dojo on some and not others. So I'll tell you what, the next pizza that I cook where I use the dojo, I will show that. I will include that in the video.
Yeah, that's
But
a
it's
good thing, John, because a lot of people struggle with getting the dojo up to the required temperature.
Well, it's not that easy to do. It takes practice if you don't have the fireboard. But if you've got the fireboard, it's real simple. And what I did was, like I showed you in that picture, I lit 3 fire starters, and I let them burn like that with the lid open for about 5 minutes or so. I set the dojo on, closed the dome lid, closed the top vent. That top vent's got to be closed, and I put the fan in, and I set my fan output at 35% on the fireboard, and I set the fireboard to 550, and that's all you got to do, and it'll get there. It does all the work for you. Yes, Aaron, this is definitely possible without the dojo. You just need to bring your grill to 550, 550 degrees, and I would use I like to put a gap between. I bring the heat deflectors up onto the grill grate up on top, and I like to use a couple of nuts or washers or something to create a gap to set the pizza stone on, and then you just set it in there. You can definitely do this without the dojo. I like the results a little bit better with the dojo. I think it browns the top of the pizza better with the dojo, but you can definitely do it without. And Brian, typically I use 20%, but when I want to run hot like this, when I want to run really hot, I run it a little harder. So
When you're through talking about that pizza, let me know, John.
okay,
I want to say something.
this is what the edge looks like on one edge, and that cheese that gets up against the edge of that pan, it gets really brown and dark, and it creates a beautiful flavor in that cheese. And here's another edge of it. This is exactly what you're looking for on this pizza style.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the fundamental characteristics of Detroit style pizza, is that char on the cheese. And this one did not let me down. It was beautiful. And there's just another picture of one of the corners. There's enough cheese on there that the pepperoni, it does what I call swim. It doesn't matter where you set that pepperoni. When that cheese gets melty and gooey, those pepperonis are going to move. So they've kind of moved around a bit. And here I've drizzled sauce. I made 3 lines of sauce. That sauce that I made, I put it in a saucepan and warmed it up, and then I just drizzled 3 lines of that sauce. The Detroit pizza, you add the sauce after the cook. So I had actually taken it out of the pan and then drizzled the sauce on there, and then I cut this guy into six pieces. We split it one way, right? We split it lengthwise down the middle, and then made 3 cuts, or made 2 cuts the other direction to turn that into 6 pieces. And this is the dough structure, and I was really happy with how this came out. You can see that airy dough there. This thing had a beautiful texture in that dough. Now, the one thing that I'm gonna make a note of when I publish this video is I'm gonna recommend that you don't put the sugar. Don't use the sugar in this dough, because I didn't make a picture of it, and I probably should have. The bottom of this pizza got a little darker than I like. It wasn't dark enough that I didn't like it. It was dark enough that Tanya didn't like it, though. It was a little bit charred, a little bit too charred on the bottom. So there's a couple of things that cause that, and the primary thing is, in this case, is the stone that I was cooking on was hotter than 550 degrees, because I know that even with the gap that you get on the dojo, that stone was probably running around 600. So when I actually write the recipe that I'm going to publish with this video, I'm going to increase the water content slightly in this dough, and I'm going to leave the sugar out, and it's going to perfect that dough. That dough is going to be absolutely amazing when that's in place. So what were you going to say, Jeff?
Uh, can you go out to your Facebook Messenger? I just sent you 2 pictures. Can you bring those up?
Yeah, give me just a second. Okay.
With today being Pi Day, Masterbuilt has released their pizza oven insert for the Gravity Series and gas barbecues. This thing goes for $179, and it does a phenomenal job on pizza. For those of you who may have the Gravity Series or a gas, grill, and you don't have a Kamado, this thing will do a phenomenal job. John can bring the next picture up. I think it's one of the pizzas that I did, and you'll see the browning. No. Yeah, that thing does a tremendous job of browning. I'm gonna post my videos. I tested it for them, and I was thoroughly impressed with the way it worked. It did everything from a cauliflower pizza to a store-bought pizza to a store-bought dough to Neapolitan dough. I did salmon in it. I did Detroit-style pizza in it, and everything came out remarkably well. So if I say $179, if you got a gas grill and you're thinking about a pizza insert or wanting to get a pizza oven, that may be a very good alternative for you.
What's underneath that stone?
Nothing.
It's open, so it's
open.
You're getting direct heat to the stone from that.
Getting direct heat to the stone, and it comes with plates that are made for their gas grills and the Gravity Series that go around that insert. So basically, all that heat is funneled up underneath that, and it's got a stainless steel insert going from the sides to the top that just radiate that heat back down, so you get a beautiful, beautiful browning action going on.
Do you have an IR thermometer?
Yes, I do. Yes, I did.
Were you
Hang
able
on
to
here.
temp that stone and see how hot that
Yes, I
stone would
was.
get?
Hang on a second, John. I've got those figures here somewhere. Give me just a second here. Well, I thought it was in there. When I was temping the stone, it was temping out at around. I got it up to 700 on the
Mhm.
Gravity series, but I like sticking around 600 to do my pizzas because 700, with that not having a double insulated,
Right.
that's not a very thick stone there. I think it's like 3/8, 7/16
Well,
of an inch, something like
in most
that.
of these grills, you're not exposing that stone to direct flame like you are in a Kamado.
True.
So, I mean, on these Masterbuilt Gravity series, there's a manifold underneath there that's blocking any direct flame. And the gas grills are going to be the same way. You got the flavorizer bars that go over the gas tubes.
Right.
It might not be a necessity to have a heat shield between the heat source and the stone because there's actually already one there in those configurations.
Well, as you know, the 800 comes with two manifolds. It comes with the regular manifold, and then it has that special manifold for the griddle. And I
Right.
used both manifolds on that thing, and
Okay,
I got
I'm not
equal
familiar with the
performance.
800.
Yeah,
That's the one of the three that I haven't had. I've had the 560 and the 500 series and the 1000 series. I
yeah,
think I can't remember.
yeah. It's the 560 and 1170, I think. Anyway, the
Yeah,
800 is the sweet spot.
right.
It's better built. It was the last one that they came out with. It's got the better firebox insert. Uh, it's just a better built grill. I've had literally no issues with that grill. But like I say, if you're looking, if you got a gas grill or if you got one of the Masterbuilt Gravity series and you're thinking about a pizza oven, 179. You cannot beat it.
Jeff, I'd like to know what the front to back dimensions on that are to figure out if it'll fit in my gas grill or not.
Um,
Whenever you
Remind me,
get,
and I will send it to you. I mean, I can go get it right now if you'd like.
that's not critical. I don't have to have it now. I'm just curious if it'll fit in my Napoleon.
I
I'm,
think it
I'm sure it
probably
probably
will.
will, but
I'm pretty sure it will.
I'd be curious because if it'll fit in my Napoleon, I might buy one of those, and I might keep that Napoleon because the guy that's supposed to come get it in May is. I might just tell him he's out of luck because he's never come
Well,
to get it. It's still here.
well, they made it universal, so it'll fit in the gas grills. It'll fit in the Gravity Series grills,
Is
and
it stainless steel?
no, it's a painted metal. Uh, it's held up well. Like I say, I've done 20 cooks on it in my
Right.
testing. And like I say, I've tested everything, from like I say, a cauliflower pizza, store-bought dough, Neapolitan, deep dish. I put salmon in there. Uh,
How long do you have to preheat?
that thing remarkably preheats really quick. I was up and cooking pizza in under 20 minutes.
Is this available yet, or is it on
Yes,
the market?
yep, it just came out today.
Okay, because
I've
I
been
hadn't
I've been
seen this
sitting on
before.
that thing, just chomping at the bit, waiting to say something about it because
Yeah.
I've been testing it for 9 months now.
Is it sitting on a grill grate? What's it sitting on?
That one right there is sitting on on that particular model. No, it's not sitting on the grill grate. It has the adapters that fit over the manifold that thing sits down on.
Yeah.
That come with it for your.
All right, Jeff. We got a couple of people here that are interested in the size of that thing. We need
Uh,
a length, width, and height dimension on that. Can you get that for us?
Hang on, let me see if they have it listed on their website. They might have it on there. Show more. Now, give me just a second. I'll run up to the
Yeah,
shop
no
and get it.
problem. No problem. It's that looks pretty slick to me, guys. I'm thinking that might be at $179. That's definitely a price point that doesn't scare me off. I will question the durability of it. I'll have to get Jeff to speak to the durability of it because Masterbuilt typically is not known for producing high quality. It's a tool that's not going to last forever. But uh, that's what I keep saying about these Masterbuilt Gravity Series smokers. I love those things. They produce the best tasting food of any grill or smoker I've ever cooked on, but they're not built to last. And I wish they would build one of these things for the market that you guys and I like to be in, where it's a better quality build. And I would really love to see that design in in somewhere in the $1,700 to $2,000 price point on a Masterbuilt Gravity Series. That thing would be a beast. It would be a contender. I'm not kidding you when I say that it produces great quality food. It produces a beautiful flavor profile. It burns through a lot of charcoal. It's not a Kamado grill, but that's one of the things that makes the flavor is that a high airflow, inefficient fire. That's where great flavor comes from. He's rustling around back there. Beth, I don't know where it's available yet. I would say masterbuilt.com. Uh, this is an item since Masterbuilt sells in big box stores. It may end up in Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart, but you might be able to buy it directly from Masterbuilt. And we'll see. So, got the Super Bowl coming up, guys, next weekend. Do any of y'all have big plans for grilling and cooking?
Okay, I got some dimensions. The dimensions are 16 inches deep, 19 inches wide. The interior space is 15 inches by 16 inches, and it's 2 3/4 inches high from the pizza stone to the top of the door open.
That Detroit pan would fit in there probably. That
Yep.
Detroit pan's like 2 inches, and
Yep, it fits in there and it browned up nicely.
yeah, that pan won't fit through the front opening on the dojo.
But like I say, for 179, and mine's held up good. The paint hasn't chipped. The thing looks brand new, and like I say, it's had a lot of cooks on it.
I'm not interested in getting another Masterbuilt Gravity, but I think I would like to run that on my gas grill. I would like to try that on my gasser. Did we lose Jeff?
No, I'll be back in a second. Hang on here. I went to turn the volume down, and there we go. Went to turn the volume down and hit the wrong button.
Well, that's all right. But you got a Super Bowl cook plans for next week, Jeff? What are you planning to do? Are you having a Super Bowl? Are you going to watch the game even?
Yep, I'm watching the game. I'm making Lane's Cuban cigars, and I'm making some pig shots.
See, Lane's Cuban cigars. I don't even know what that is. Tell me about it.
It's a deconstructed Cuban sandwich. You take a pork loin or boneless pork chops. Pork loin is the same thing. Cut it about 1/4 inch thick. Pound it out. Put a little bit of your favorite mustard on it. Put some ham, Swiss cheese, turkey if you want turkey. Put a pickle. Roll it up. Wrap it up in bacon. And put some of his Cubano rub on it, and then I'm trying to think what sauce he puts on it. I've got the sauce.
Sonia, what's my favorite sandwich?
The Cuban.
I'm gonna have to investigate this, Jeff. Tanya will tell you anytime we end up in a pub that's got a Cuban, that's usually what I order.
Yeah, but Cubans can be made a lot of different ways, but you go down to South Florida, man, and you can get some fantastic Cubans.
Well, the Cubans that I like have pulled pork, and usually they'll have one other meat, whether it'll be, I don't know if it's turkey
It's
or
usually ham, but every now and then somebody puts turkey
ham.
on it.
Yeah, but the things that make the Cuban are the mustard and the pickles
Yep.
on top of that. And man, I love a good a panini pressed Cuban. It's
Get that crust just all nice and
yeah.
crunchy. Oh, buddy.
Oh boy, man, that's a sandwich, and it's the Swiss cheese. The Swiss has definitely got to be there,
Yeah.
and
I'll be right back. I got to go get the dog.
that's given me another video idea. We're gonna have to do this. George says Tampa has the best Cubans. Yeah, I'm not gonna get in that argument because I'm sure the closer you get to Cuba, the better the Cubans are. So I don't know. George is going to tell me that the Tampa Cubans are better than the Miami Cubans, which might be. I'll tell you the best Cuban sandwich I've ever had. Uh, I've had two phenomenally good Cuban sandwiches, and one of them, Tanya, do you remember the name of that place in Washington D.C. that we ate at? That was a Cuban restaurant when we vacationed in D.C. You remember that place?
I remember it, but I don't recall the name
I
of
can't
it.
remember the
No.
name of it either, but that was one of the two best Cuban sandwiches I've had. And the other
That
one
was the place
was
that had the banh mi, wasn't it?
no, the other one
What?
was at Foothills Brewing in Winston-Salem here in North
Yeah.
Carolina. They had one of the two best Cubans I've ever had. But Jeff, that'd be a good video project. I'm gonna make.
Ooh.
We'll make a grilled Cuban, but we'll do it. We'll do a brick on the soapstone to make a pressed sandwich out of it, and that ought to be really good somehow or another. That's another good way to make a video to use leftover pulled pork.
Absolutely.
So Lane did a Cuban short. I need to. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Ryan's YouTube channel. I need to look at that because Ryan does some amazing stuff. He's like,
It came up in my feed about a week ago, and I said, I got to try that.
yeah, Ryan. One of the things I like about Ryan is not only that he makes probably some of the best brisket I've ever seen, is he makes his pimento cheese is like mine. I'm not going to say that his pimento cheese is better or worse than mine because my pimento cheese is really good, but Ryan makes some really good pimento cheese also. Jeff, you remember back in the summer at Atlanta Grill Company, did you get one of those brisket tacos?
Oh, God, yes.
Cheese on it.
That's freaking awesome. So, George, you say Tampa has the best Cubans. All right, we're in Tampa. You better tell me the Columbia. Or I will fight you.
Oh, boy.
Columbia and Tampa, they've got that's where the chain originated. It's from 1903.
There's another sandwich. There's another sandwich that I like as much as I like a Cuban, but I rarely ever come across anybody serving them. It's called the Monte Cristo.
Oh yeah,
That
I remember when.
Yeah.
What was the restaurant name? They're out of business now. Used to always serve the Monte Cristo with the raspberry jam.
But I don't think I've ever come across a restaurant serving Monte Cristos, but I think somewhere back in the Man Cave Meals way back days, I think I made a Monte Cristo video. I think I'll have to go look that up. But it's
Bennigan's. Thank you, Levi. Bennigan's. That's right.
Oh Lord, I haven't heard of Bennigan's in a million years.
Does that place still exist?
No, it's gone. It's out of business.
They made
for all practical purposes, I think it's out of business.
They made a Cuban that was really good.
No, a Monte Cristo.
A Monte Cristo? Okay.
Oh yeah.
But
Matter of fact, I would say without a doubt they were probably the best Monte Cristo.
Okay.
And I'll have to agree with Aaron. A muffaletta.
I've not had that, and I'm not sure I even know what that is. I've heard the word, but I don't know what is that.
It's a sandwich, and it's got an olive
tapenade. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't
You don't
like
like olives?
olives.
No
Oh
olives.
I
man,
like black olives, but I don't eat the green ones.
these are just the Spanish olives, the
Uh,
red and the green.
I
Oh man, it's
I
good.
don't like the flavor of those. Those are pimentas that they've stuffed into those. I like pimentas, but I don't like the olive. I'm not a fan of the green olive.
It's
Now
usually on a big round loaf, and it's like
my dad
huge.
would eat them right out of the
Yeah,
jar. I don't do olives. I like
muffulettas are
black
great.
olives. I like black olives on pizzas. I like black olives
Mhm.
in even in salsa. I like black olives in a spaghetti sauce. Even I don't have any problem with black olives for some reason or another. I just don't like the green ones. So I don't really know why. It's
Our,
a
our
totally
favorite
different
piece,
flavor.
our favorite piece pizza used to be from Domino's. Double crust, double ham, double cheese, black olives. Boom.
Yeah, but man, I like black olives. So yeah, we got Super Bowl coming up, and I don't know. Maybe this week I should do something Super Bowl related. I don't know. I've done a couple of things back in the early Man Cave Meals days. I did a few things that I called game day things that I might go back and revisit one of those uh, and make a modernized version of it. One of the things I hate about digging back deep into the Man Cave Meals video archive, back when I did those videos, I was pretty proud of what I had done. And when I go back and look at them now, I shake my head, say, why did I do that? Or how did I get away with that? And I could do it now and improve it. Yeah, Aaron, let's talk about meatball sandwich. Uh, I've got I've made meatballs so many different ways. Aaron, let me tell you, I'm trying to remember if this was a Kamado Joe video. I think it was a Kamado Joe video, and in fact, I'm sure it was. If you will look in the Kamado Joe YouTube channel and look up a video I did, it was a baked spaghetti with meatballs. Those meatballs are the really right meatballs for a meatball sandwich, uh, because they're smoked. And uh, let me see if I can find that video. Let me just bring up the Kamado Joe YouTube channel and see if I can find that video on there because that meatball is a perfect meatball for this project. Uh, and it's I like to smoke meatballs, and when I the smoke source that it makes an amazing meatball is a tinfoil packet that's got rosemary, sage, and thyme, uh, and oregano in it. Uh, let's see here. I'm getting there, guys. Here it is. This let me let me post the link in the comments.
And
And
Cindy, yeah, it's Sunday.
I just posted the link to that video in the comments here. The recipe for that meatball is is in there. Use those meatballs and just either make yourself a marinara sauce, buy a marinara sauce to put it in, and then use your on a. I think a meatball sandwich is best with provolone, and I would shake oregano on top of that provolone, and then I'd put that thing in the toaster or under the broiler a while to toast the outside of that bread. No, I'm right. It's Super Bowl is this weekend.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Never mind. I won't be doing a Super Bowl cook. See,
I was
that
gonna say,
shows
I
you
think you're gonna be at work, aren't you, John?
that shows you how much attention I've been paying. Yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
I gotta work.
It's okay, John. I'll be making some really super tasty Super Bowl treats. I can make videos of that if you'd like and share them out.
What time's that game start? Does it start before I go to work? Probably not.
No, it starts after.
No.
Yeah.
They'll start talking about it before you
Right.
go to work.
Where are they? They're playing in Philadelphia?
So we'll have like, no, they're playing, what is it, out in Arizona? Am I correct?
I don't know.
I thought it was Arizona. Let me double check. Maybe I got Arizona on the brain for something else.
Cindy, football season for me ends in January. It does. With the BCS Bowl. So, yeah, I don't know. Where are we here?
Yeah, it's Arizona.
Yeah,
was
George, I
right.
am behind on the pizza videos, but the first one's coming out tomorrow, and I'll have another one out before the end of February. I'll get a
Hey,
second
John,
one. Yeah,
going back to that pizza oven, I put that pizza oven on the bark
right.
and did a pizza on it.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Came out fine.
You take the heat shield out?
Yep. Took
Yeah.
the heat shield completely out and
That's good.
just lowered the grate, use the bottom grate, put it right over the heat pot.
How hot were you able to get? I'm sure the bark will probably get nice and hot without the heat shield in it.
Without the heat shield, I was sitting at 525 on the
Yeah.
stone.
Now we hear the voice of reason.
What's that?
Get
March
ready for
9th.
Matt's smartness.
This is true. Tanya, do you have spring break during that week this year?
Which week?
During the tournament week, the ACC tournament week?
I don't think so. I think I'm a week ahead of that.
Well, guys, for what it's worth, on my new job, I was looking at my paycheck stub. I now have been at my new job long enough that I have enough time accrued that I could take a weekend off. Jeff, I've got enough PTO built up to take a weekend. I won't take it though. It's going to be a while before I take any time off. It bothers me if I don't have a big bank of time off on the job. So
Yeah, I know what you're saying there.
yeah, I hated going from having 260 or 280 hours to zero when I changed jobs. So, but anyway, everything.
Well, it might be. It's the 13th to the 17th. According to
That'll be after the tournament.
So we'll just have to
I
see
think
what
the tournament will be the weekend before that. The tournament's usually my birthday week.
Yeah, because you got a birthday coming up.
I'm getting ready to qualify for senior citizen discount at the fast food restaurants.
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Go in and ask for the senior citizens discount. Oh yeah. So anyway, what kind of pizza? I did Detroit pizza. That video is going to come up probably tomorrow. So what kind of pizza do you guys want to see next? What should be my next pizza video? Number 2 out of the 12. What's your favorite kind of pizza? I'm game for doing any of it. One of the 12 is going to be a focaccia, which is technically not a pizza, but Jeff, I'm going to do our focaccia.
I've been jonesing for that for the last couple of weeks, and I've been real good about not doing it, but I don't know.
Nobody got any suggestions on pizza?
Yeah, we're getting some. We've got bar pizza. How to get the best out of the dojo video. Ryan says any pizza is good pizza.
Wait a minute. I'm not scrolling for some reason. Bar pizza. Okay. White pizza. Oh man, that white pie is my favorite. That's
Pesto
that's
Cappy's too.
pizza.
yeah. Pesto pizza. Carl,
Hmm.
when you say pesto pizza, are you talking about the pizza that's just a crust with nothing but pesto on it? Is that what you're thinking? I've done that. I've done those before, and they're really good. Uh, an easy peasy Neapolitan dough. Well, that's easy enough to do if you understand baker's percentages. Just make a 60% hydration dough that's got nothing but flour, water, salt, and yeast.
Girl is in basically a white pie with some
Yeah.
pesto.
I like doing a white pie, and one of the things I make is I make a ricotta base for that. I take a tub of ricotta cheese and I put some minced garlic in it and some red pepper flakes and mix that up, and that becomes my pizza sauce. I put that on, and then on top of that, I'll put a little bit of Mott's. I'll put some parm, and then on top of that, you could put sun-dried tomatoes, or you can do it. You can do lots of various things there with that. Aaron's asking me about Dave Portnoy reviews. I'm not sure I know who Dave Portnoy is. You have to clue me in on that. I'm not. Yeah, Ryan, ricotta bases for pizzas are incredible,
Absolutely.
and also on that you got to drizzle olive oil on that
Mhm.
as well. Don't leave it dry. Put some olive oil out there, and then shake some like an Italian herb blend on top of that too. It's crazy. It's good. Absolutely.
Yep.
Head of Barstool Sports. I don't know anything about this Dave Portnoy or what he reviews. That's out of my league. When I hear Portnoy, I think about drums. So that tells you how old I am. Talk about Dream Theater.
John, you're making me feel old, buddy. Come on now. Tell me about how old you are.
Well,
Oh,
apparently he does
good.
pizza reviews.
Pizza reviews on YouTube. Okay, I'm not familiar with him. I'll look him up, but I'm not a pizza jockey. I'm not an expert pizza baker, and I never have been, and I never will be. I don't claim to be, but I claim to have made enough pizzas that I know enough about it to be dangerous. And I've made a lot of pizzas, and a lot of people have followed my recipes and been fascinated by them and been happy with them. Hot honey drizzle. Now I have heard that, and I've not done that myself. Uh,
Well, I think we should take a minute to talk about a story that I saw this week. There was a young lad over in England who decided that he was going to see if he could fly to Italy, eat a pizza, and get back for less money than a Domino's pizza costed. And he succeeded.
what?
Yes. I was like, you go, dude. He is living the dream. And, I was so inspired by this that I was thinking to myself, why don't I try crap like that?
Why don't we fly to
But
Italy? Fly to
yeah, he
Italy,
was,
get a pizza.
yeah, he flew to Italy, got a pizza, ate the pizza, left a good tip, got back
No,
for less than he could have bought a Domino's pizza.
before we go to Italy to get a pizza, you and I are going to go back to Frank Pepe in New Haven, Connecticut.
Well, I
We,
was reading about Frank Pepe today too, and I was reading Tomato Pie. It was somebody who was reviewing the style of pizza a la Frank Pepe, and I was like, we went there. And so, thinking about the
well,
differences between the
we
tomato
went
pie and everything
there.
else.
We went there, but I want to give it I want to give it another go because
Right.
the night that we were there, we were fairly close to closing time, and it was a weeknight, and I don't think I was not real impressed with what I got, and I want to go back, and I want to have my impression of Frank Pepe redeemed. I want to go
Well,
back up there.
I do too, but like I said, that's definitely. So let's just pitch the idea right here, right now. You know what's coming up in May.
Mm-mm. Our 5-year anniversary. So
Yeah,
you
why
want a
don't
road
we
trip? You want a
do
road
our
trip?
honeymoon again?
Well, we can do that. I don't know if I want to go back to Cooperstown,
Well, we don't have to go back to Cooperstown.
but we can go to Vermont and we can make that trip, and then maybe we can go see Beth up there in Columbus.
Yeah, because
And
we
go,
still got to go see Penny Coco
yes, we
and
can
Lulu.
finally make that happen.
Yeah.
It might. I don't know if it'll
Try
happen right.
Sally's too. Where's Sally's at, Brian?
Is that in Connecticut? Is that in New Haven?
Yeah, we're a bunch of old geezers in there with a bunch of college students.
Yeah.
New Haven,
New
he
Haven.
says.
Yeah.
Well, I'll check that
Okay.
out. That's what we should do. All right, so
You know something
right
else? I
here
think is New Haven where that place called the Lunchbox is. Is that?
for the hamburger.
Yeah. Is that in
Yeah,
Connecticut?
I
Is
think it
that up
might
there
be.
also?
I think it might
If
be.
it is, it might. We might have to stay a night in New Haven and have a pizza and a burger. If that
Mm-hmm.
Lunchbox place is in New Haven, which I think it is, I like to try that too. That place where they is that the place where they I can't remember. I've looked at so many of these famous burger places that I can't remember if that's the one that has the 100-year-old grease or if that's the one that has the
They
vertical
have the
grill.
vertical grill.
Okay. Yeah,
The
okay.
100-year-old Grease is in Tennessee.
Okay. So yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. New
There ain't
England
nothing but
Part 2.
pizza and burgers. I'm good with all that. Well, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. I think we're gonna wrap things up. I'm tired, and
For real.
this rare breeds uh helping that being tired. It's it's pushing me towards the Sandman. It's gonna help me sleep good tonight for sure. So I had to have a while we were talking, I accidentally spilled just another splash of that into my glass here by accident. It was a complete accident. It really
I
was.
totally understand, John.
Mhm. So bar pizza.
Oh, speaking of bar stuff, is that place still in Baltimore that had the risotto?
I'm sure it is.
Holy crap.
I don't
Y'all,
remember
it's the
the name
best
of it.
risotto. I don't either, but that's the best risotto I had in my life. The barkeeper kept coming over and asking us stuff. And I didn't talk to him because, I was too busy eating. I would have had to have stopped eating this risotto to talk to this dude. So I didn't talk to
You
him
know
until
what's
I was
unfortunate?
done with
You
the
know what's
risotto.
unfortunate? Is the only thing I remember about our trip through Baltimore was how bad
Was
the
the
roads in
potholes.
downtown Baltimore were. There were
Yeah, that was
potholes
pretty bad.
everywhere. It was horrible.
Oh,
They
it
don't
was
believe in
awful.
road maintenance in Baltimore.
Apparently not, and
Yeah.
this is in downtown. You know.
Yeah, it was pretty
John,
epically
it's the way they
bad.
keep the speeding down.
Well, yeah, you're not
No.
gonna if you speed through there, you're gonna have to get in alignment when you leave, for sure.
And probably a muffler replaced and a few other things.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, maybe it stimulates the economy. I don't know, but that place, the risotto was the best. I've never had risotto better anywhere else. It was so good that I didn't want to talk.
Yep.
I didn't want to stop eating. I didn't want to stop shoveling it into my face.
A good
Alrighty.
risotto is great. A
I
bad
mean, it
risotto
was.
is.
Yeah, I mean this
I've never
this was
learned to
the
make it. I've
best
never
risotto I've
learned to
ever
make
had.
it.
It's very time consuming. I mean, I've made
Well,
It
risotto.
was.
that's
It's
one of the
very time
reasons I've
consuming.
never bothered. But from what I understand, you can cheat and still make good risotto with a Instapot. I've
Don't
seen
have
some
an
stuff.
Instapot, can't attest to that.
I don't
I
have one,
have
but
an Instapot.
Tanya's got one. Tanya, let's put you on that. Why don't you learn to make risotto in the Instapot? It shouldn't be that difficult.
Well, because here's my thing. I have made risotto before, the traditional way. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, I don't know. Do I want to make it in an Instapot? And I've gone back and forth. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Well,
If I don't think I can produce something as good as that stuff I was shoving in my face in Baltimore,
this is the reason I don't make it. This is the reason I've never bothered, because if I'm making risotto, it's going to be a side for something else.
it was
And I can't
delicious.
stand there and be stirring risotto while I've got other things going on. I need a sous chef. Tanya, we'll have to work that together. We'll have to come up with some kind of meal where one of us works the risotto and the other one does everything else. Because
Yeah,
pretty
well, we
much,
might
if
do
I
that.
understand it correctly, you
Maybe.
got to keep it moving. You got to stir it
You
fairly
do.
constantly. And
You do.
so, all right, guys, y'all have a good week.
Anyway.
I'll see you back here next week. And I don't know what I'm going to cook next week yet. I'm probably going to pull something out of my freezer. I've got some meat in the freezer that needs to be cooked, and we'll figure it out from there. So, guys,
Well,
enjoy
honey,
the
I'd like
soup.
to point out that you need to do chili and you need to do some pimento cheese because February the 14th is coming and you know what that means.
Well, that means we'll be having hot dogs and hot dog. Okay,
Hot
'cause
dogs with pimento.
and my homemade chili, and I'm out of both.
Yes.
I don't think I have any of my homemade chili in the freezer. I'll have to go look. If not, I'm going to be busy next week because I'm going to have to make
Very busy.
the chili.
Yeah.
Takes a little while. The pimento cheese comes together quickly. But all right, guys, y'all have a good week. We'll see you and enjoy the Super Bowl.